The stranger at the edge of the storm was coming. Jay stood outside his small wooden cabin, staring at the purple clouds rolling across the alien sky. Lightning flashed in strange colors, blue and red far in the distance. The trees around his cabin bent under the heavy wind, their leaves glowing softly in the dusklight. He was used to storms on Varellan 3. They were loud, fast, and dangerous, but this one felt different. The wind had a strange sound, like voices, whispering. Even the animals had gone quiet. Jace went inside and shut the thick door. He checked the solar batteries and secured the windows. He lived alone, far from any colony, by choice. No noise, no people, no trouble. Just the forest, the stars, and silence. He was about to light the heater when the cabin lights flickered. Then, went out. The backup power kicked in. A soft hum returned, but before he could feel relief, the motion sensor beeped once. Someone was outside. Jace grabbed his old plasma tool. It wasn't a weapon, but it could burn through metal. He moved to the door, slowly, his boots silent on the wooden floor. Another beep. Closer now, then a knock. Not loud. Not fast. Just 3 slow knocks. He opened the door a crack and froze. A tall figure stood just beyond the porch, lit by the flashing sky. It was a blue-skinned alien, over 7 feet tall, wearing black armor covered in dust and small glowing lines. A long scar ran across his face, and his eyes glowed faintly white. One of his arms was bleeding dark blue blood. The alien said nothing. He just stared at Jace. "Are you hurt?" Jace asked, voice low. No answer. The alien pulled a small sphere from his belt and threw it into the ground. A shimmer spread around the cabin, like a light bubble forming in the air. Jace stepped back. "What are you doing?" Still, no words. The alien stepped into the cabin without waiting for permission and began placing more devices along the corners, each glowing softly. He moved slowly, like a soldier following a routine. "Hey, stop. This is my home." Jace raised the plasma tool. In one smooth motion, the alien spun and aimed a long rifle directly at Jace's chest. Jace froze. The alien spoke at last. His voice was deep and sharp. "Stay inside. Do not leave this field." "Why? Who are you?" Jace asked, still confused. No answer again. The blue alien crouched near the door and tapped something on his wrist. Jace backed away, breathing hard. "You can't just show up and take over. What are you protecting me from?" But the alien didn't look at him. He only looked out the window, watching the dark forest. The storm hit minutes later. The wind screamed, shaking the cabin. Lightning crashed all around. Rain came down in sheets. The alien stood near the door, rifle in hand, body still. Jace sat by the heater, watching him closely. Hours passed. No sleep, no words, until a sound. It wasn't thunder. It was something else. Like claws on metal. The alien stood quickly, then pushed Jace aside and opened the door. "Wait!" Jace shouted. Too late. The alien aimed his weapon and fired into the darkness. A bright blue beam lit the storm for a second. Something growled, a high, broken sound, and ran back into the trees. Jace rushed forward. "What was that?" The alien turned. His face was calm, but his voice was cold. "They found you." Then he shut the door. Jace stood frozen. The wind howled. The storm wasn't the only danger tonight. Someone or something was hunting him. Only this silent blue alien knew why. The unseen enemy. The storm was still strong the next morning. But the worst had passed. Jay stood near the cabin window, staring into the foggy forest. Trees were broken. Smoke rose from a burning stump where the alien had fired his weapon. Whatever was out there, it was real. Behind him, the blue-skinned alien sat on the floor, quietly repairing his rifle. His armor had small cracks. Bloodstains marked his arm, but he didn't complain or ask for help. He hadn't said a word since last night. Jace finally broke the silence. You said they found me. Who are they? No answer. Jace walked closer. What do they want? Why are you here? The alien adjusted a part on his rifle, then replied, voice low and heavy. Ward. What does that mean? Protected one. Jace frowned. You're protecting me? Yes. But why me? The alien didn't reply. He looked at the glowing sphere floating in the corner of the room. Its light was dimmer now. Jace rubbed his forehead. Look, I didn't ask for protection. I live alone. I don't bother anyone. I've never even met your kind before. The alien glanced at him, and for a moment, something passed in his eyes. Recognition? Sadness? He stood up and walked to the door. Stay inside the barrier. Do not go out. Tell me what's going on. But the door opened, and the alien walked out into the mist. Jace cursed under his breath. Unbelievable. He stayed inside for an hour, then 2. His curiosity got the better of him. Grabbing a jacket, a scanner, and his plasma tool, he stepped. Outside, the air was cold and thick. The barrier shimmered faintly around the cabin, forming a protective dome. As he walked just near the edge, his scanner beeped. He knelt. Burn marks. The ground had long, deep cuts in the dirt, 4 claw marks side by side. But there were no footprints. No signs of weight. Like something floated just above the ground, but had claws sharp enough to cut stone. Suddenly, the scanner flashed red. Unknown life form detected. High threat level. Jace spun around. Nothing. The trees stood still, but the silence was wrong. No birds. No wind. Even the insects were gone. He took 1 step back, just one, and the scanner screamed. A black shape dashed past him. Fast as lightning, silent as death. He fell backward. When he looked up, the shape was gone. Only deep claw marks remained across the tree near him. He scrambled back to the cabin, heart racing. The alien was already inside, watching. You left the field, the alien said coldly. You didn't tell me there were invisible monsters out there. They're not invisible, the alien replied. You simply cannot understand what they are. Jace backed up. I saw something. It didn't move like an animal. It felt angry. They are not animals. They are memories that should not exist. What does that mean? The alien turned to him slowly. You carry something that calls to them. Something buried deep. Jace blinked. I've got nothing. Just some tools, food, and he paused. Something old. Something forgotten. He opened a drawer and pulled out a small metal box, dusty and locked. It had no markings, except a strange glowing line across the top. I found this years ago, near the river where I rescued that little alien girl who crashed here. I thought it was junk, but I kept it. The alien's eyes widened for the first time. He stepped forward quickly. That's it, he whispered. You know what this is? It's a seed. A memory capsule. She gave it to you. To protect, Jace remembered. A little girl, bleeding and scared. He'd saved her, gave her food, kept her safe. Before her people took her back, she had pressed the box into his hand. Keep this safe, she had whispered. I forgot all about her. Jace murmured. That girl was not just anyone. The alien said, she was my sister. Jace froze. Your sister? Yes, she vanished after that mission. We thought she was dead. But her seed activated recently. It called to those who hunger for broken thoughts. Jace looked at the box. It now pulsed faint blue. So those creatures, they're coming for this? The alien nodded. They will not stop until it is destroyed or used. Used? What does that mean? If opened, it could restore her or unleash her worst fears. Jace held the box tightly. Suddenly, a soft voice whispered in his mind. Jace, you remember me? He staggered back, dropping the box. The alien caught it before it hit the ground. She's inside. But so is something else. The cabins. Lights flickered again. The storm had passed, but a new danger was rising. Something unseen. Something that remembered him. A mission buried in silence. The blue alien placed the glowing memory box on the table like it was made of glass. His hands were steady, but his eyes stayed locked on it. Jace sat across from him, still breathing hard, mind spinning. She spoke. To me, in my head. The alien nodded. The seed is waking. What does that mean? Is she alive? Not fully, not yet. Jace looked at the small box. It was no bigger than a fist. But now, tiny lights ran through its surface like veins. Every few seconds, it gave off a soft pulse. A heartbeat. The cabin was quiet. Outside, the fog hadn't cleared. The force field shimmered faintly, flickering now and then. The alien frowned at that. I'm guessing that's not good, Jace said. No, the shield is weakening. Too much. Energy was spent last night. And we're stuck in here with something hunting us. Not something, the alien said. Her broken echo. Jace leaned forward. You keep saying that. What is it exactly? The alien took a slow breath. My sister Ilari was part of a secret mission 20 years ago. She came to this planet carrying classified memories. Genetic maps, dangerous ones. Why here? Because it was uninhabited. Or so we thought. But something lived beneath the surface, something ancient. It got inside her mind. Jace's eyes widened. Wait, are you saying she was infected? No, twisted. The alien's face hardened. Her mind started breaking apart. She buried her true self in this seed, before it was too late. And the version outside? A shadow of what she became. Jace stood and paced the room. I helped her that day. She was scared. She bled like anyone else. She cried. She smiled at me. That was her true self, the alien said. She must have trusted you deeply to give you the seed. I didn't even know what it was. I threw it in a drawer. You did what was asked. You kept it safe. The lights flickered again. The alien stood and checked a device on his wrist. A holographic image appeared, spinning symbols and numbers. She's circling us. She won't strike yet. She's waiting. For what? For him to remember. Jace turned. What? She's using your memories to rebuild herself. But they're not enough. She wants all of them. Jace's heart pounded. So what do we do? The alien turned to him. We open the seed. Jace stepped back. No, you said it's dangerous. It is, but it's more dangerous to wait. If she takes over fully, she use your memories to spread the infection across other minds. How? Through psychic links, dreams, thoughts. Any mind touched by hers will be changed. Jace ran his fingers through his hair. You said she was your sister. Can't you stop her? I'm trying. That's not good enough. The alien didn't react. Instead, he pulled out a small silver device and placed it next to the memory box. This will unlock the seed. But only if she allows it. The lights flickered again, longer this time. And then, a whisper filled the room. You left me. Jace's blood went cold. He looked around. Did you hear that? The alien gave a slow nod. She's speaking. To both of us now, another whisper. You forgot me. You promised. Images flashed in Jace's mind, him as a teenager, carrying Ilari through the forest. Her tiny fingers holding her smile through the pain. Her whisper, don't forget me. He gasped and dropped to his knees. She's inside, he said. Digging deep, the alien moved fast. He grabbed the seed and connected the unlocker. Light shot from the device, scanning Jace's body. She's searching for access, the alien muttered. Give her something real. Something good, a memory she can hold on to. Jace closed his eyes and thought back. A quiet night by the river. Fire, Ilari sitting close to him, cold and shivering. He wrapped a blanket around her, She looked up and said, "You're the first kind one I've met." The box pulsed hard, then popped open. A glowing mist rose, curling into the air like smoke. Jace stepped back. Inside the mist, a shape formed, a girl. Translucent and fragile, eyes closed. It was Ilari, but her face twisted slowly into something else, something sharp. Her voice echoed again, louder now. "Kindness dies. Memory lies. I remember everything." The mist turned black. The alien fired his rifle, but the beam passed right through her. Jay shouted, "Ilari! Stop, you're not like this." She floated toward him. "Prove it." Then she vanished. The alien cursed in his language. "The link is active. She's inside your mind now." Jace felt a burning behind his eyes. His hands trembled. "She wants me to bring her back," he whispered. The alien stepped forward. "Then we'll do it, but not her version." Jace met his gaze. "We're going to bring back the real Ilari." The cabin's secret. The air inside the cabin was heavy, like invisible. Pressure pushing against the walls. Jace felt it in his chest, tight, like he couldn't breathe right. The memory seed still glowed faintly on the table, but now its color had changed from soft blue to a pale, flickering white. The alien, still unnamed, stood near the door. His armor hissed quietly as the small vents tried to cool him down. "We need to find the anchor," he said suddenly. Jace looked up, confused. "Anchor? She left something behind when she gave you the seed. A part of her memory is still hidden, buried deep, likely under this cabin." Jace blinked. "This place? You think she put something beneath my home? She trusted you. She knew the cabin would remain untouched. Memory seeds are useless without their anchor. That's why she's incomplete. And that's why her shadow is hunting us." Jace stood, feeling the floorboards under his feet. He had lived here for years, never thinking twice about what might be below. The cabin had been built on top of a shallow ridge. Maybe, just maybe. He grabbed a pry tool and moved the table aside. The alien helped without being asked, lifting heavy furniture in silence. Jace peeled up the old floorboards. Underneath, there was a layer of dry dirt and something metallic. They cleared it quickly. A small silver hatch. It had no handle. Just a single glowing line, shaped like the alien language Jace didn't understand. The alien crouched and pressed his palm against it. Didn't open. "It's locked with biosignature," he said. "But not mine, hers." Jace stared at the hatch, then at the glowing memory seed on the table. "Wait," he said slowly. "If part of her is in that seed, and part of her is still in my mind, maybe that's enough." He walked over, picked up the seed carefully, and placed it over the hatch. For a second, nothing happened. Then a soft click. The hatch opened with a hiss. Beneath it was a small chamber. Cold air escaped as if it had been sealed for decades. Inside, there was a clear stasis pod only about the size of a child's bed, and inside it lay another Ilari. Jace's breath caught. She was asleep, frozen in time. Her skin pale blue, her hair long and glowing faintly. Unlike the ghostly image from the memory mist, this version of her looked peaceful, real. "She survived," Jace whispered. All this time, the alien knelt beside the chamber. His voice was rough. She split her consciousness. Half in the seed, half in stasis, to protect the information. To protect herself. Jace touched the glass. "Can we wake her?" "Yes, but not yet. If her shadow form finds this body, should destroy it." As if on cue, the lights flickered again. The glowing field outside began to crackle louder. "She's close," the alien said. "And now she knows." The shadows in the corners of the cabin deepened. A cold breeze blew in, even though the door was closed. And then, a voice whispered from every wall, "You dug too deep." The alien spun, gun ready. Jace looked at the pod again. Ilari's fingers twitched inside the chamber. "She's waking," Jace said. No, the alien warned. That's not her. That's the shadow inside her, trying to break out. The seed in Jace's hand began to heat up. He dropped it with a cry. The white light pulsed hard. She's fighting for control, the alien muttered. What do we do? Jace asked. The alien pulled a small vial from his belt. It shimmered green. This is a neural stabilizer. If we inject it into her body now, it may help her mind push the shadow out, just enough to talk to her real self. And if it doesn't work, she may wake up as the shadow. The choice hung heavy in the room. Jace looked at Ilari's sleeping face. Even now, after all these years, she looked almost the same, older, yes, but still carrying the gentle sadness he remembered. He nodded. Do it. The alien opened the pod carefully. Cold mist poured out. Her chest rose slowly. The alien injected the stabilizer into her neck. For a moment, nothing. Then her eyes opened. One eye glowed blue, the other black. Jace took a step back. Ilari? She sat up slowly, looked at him, and smiled. You came back, she said, her voice soft, but layered. Like two voices speaking at once, the alien stepped forward. Who are you? She looked at him. I don't know anymore. She grabbed her head, gasping. It's too loud inside. Too many memories. Jay stepped closer. You know me. Remember the river, the blanket, the stars. She stared at him, her breathing slowed. Yes, I remember. The kind boy, the firelight, the blackened one. I faded just a little. I'm here, she said. But so is she. Jace reached out. Hold on, we're going to help you. She took his hand. Suddenly, the windows shattered. A black mist flooded the room, and the voice screamed, You cannot steal what belongs to me. When silence breaks, glass exploded. The black mist poured into the cabin like a wave of living smoke. The lights died. The glowing barrier outside collapsed with a high-pitched scream. The forest vanished into shadow. The world turned cold. Jace held tightly onto Ilari's trembling hand. Her eyes, one blue, one dark, flickered as her body fought the thing inside her. The alien soldier grabbed his rifle and stepped in front of them. Stay behind me, he said, voice calm but tight. From the mist, a figure began to form. It looked like Ilari, but twisted. Her face was sharp, her eyes completely black, and her mouth curled in a hateful smile. You should have left me buried. The shadow Ilari whispered. Her voice echoed with broken memories, like the voices of hundreds speaking through her. I helped you once, Jay said, standing slowly. I gave you food. I gave you hope. The shadow tilted her head. And now you want to take it back? You want to erase me? No, he said softly. I want to heal you. The shadow screamed, and the mist around her twisted into tendrils reaching, grabbing, smashing what was left of the cabin walls. The alien soldier fired once, twice, 3 times. The shots passed through her like light through smoke. She's not fully here, he said. She's a projection, a mental construct. She's inside Ilari's mind and yours. Jace turned to Ilari. Her body shook violently, eyes wide, lips muttering silent words. She's taking over, he said. We're losing her. We need to go inside, the alien replied. Jace blinked. What? The alien pulled out a small circular device. Neural bridge. 2 minds can link, share thoughts, memories, pain. You want me to enter her mind? Yes, you have the strongest emotional bond. She'll listen to you. What if she doesn't? Then the shadow wins. Jace took a deep breath. Do it. The alien pressed the neural bridge against Jace's temple. Then he placed the second pad on Ilari's forehead. Light flashed. The world vanished. Jace opened his eyes and gasped. He stood in a memory. A field under twin suns. The air was warm, the grass soft underfoot. A younger Ilari sat under a tree, laughing, her hair tied in braids. a little girl, happy and alive. He stepped forward. "Ilari?" She turned, her smile fading slowly. "You came back," she said. "But you're too late." The sky darkened. Shadows began crawling across the grass like ink. Ilari stood. "She's here." The younger version of herself walked toward them, except her eyes were full black. Her steps stiff and lifeless. "Go away," Ilari whispered to the shadow. The shadow didn't speak. It just raised its hand and the tree behind them turned. To Jace ran to Ilari and pulled her close. "You're stronger than her," he said. "You've already fought this long. You split yourself, hid yourself. That took courage." The real Ilori shook her head. "She's still part of me." "Then take her back," Jace said. "What?" "Accept her. Don't fight her like an enemy. Show her she doesn't need to destroy everything. Show her what kindness feels like." The shadow stopped, confused. "You think kindness will fix this?" the shadow hissed. "You forget what the world did to us." "No," Jace said. "But I remember what you did. You chose to save a piece of yourself. You gave me the memory seed. That means the real you, this you still matters." Ilari stepped forward. She looked at her darker self. "I am tired of running." The shadow screamed, lunged, but Ilari opened her arms and embraced it. There was no fight. There was only silence. And then light. The shadow began to dissolve, turning to sparks. Jace blinked. He was standing in the dark again, but Ilari stood beside him whole. Her eyes were both blue now. Tears ran down her cheeks. "Thank you," she whispered. Jace woke up back in the ruined cabin. Ilari was awake, too really awake this time. Her hands were steady, her breathing calm. The alien soldier stepped forward. "You stabilized her mind." Jace looked at Ilari. "How do you feel?" Ilari touched her chest. "Like I've been asleep for a lifetime." "Your shadow?" Jace asked. "Gone," she said softly. "Or maybe not gone. Just quiet." The alien gave a small nod. "Then we must leave this place. The memory seed has been spent. The storm brought others. This planet is no longer safe." Jace looked at the burned-out cabin, the shattered windows, the fading force field. "Yeah," he said. "I think it's time." Ilari stood, stronger now. "You saved me." "Twice," Jace smiled. "Guess I have a habit of doing that." Outside, the black mist was gone. The sky was clear. The stars blinked above, and the twin moons were rising. But far in the distance, flashing lights appeared. Ships. And not all of them were friendly. The memory gambit. The night sky was no longer quiet. Dozens of lights moved across the upper atmosphere, some blinking slow and steady like patrol ships, others cutting across the stars like sharp blades. Jace stood at the edge of the broken cabin, watching them move, his fists clenched. Ilari stepped up beside him. Her legs were weak, but her mind was clear. She looked older than before, like someone who had lived too many lifetimes inside her own head. The alien soldier, her brother, checked his wrist device. Multiple vessels inbound, mixed signals, some military, some unknown. Jace turned to him. "They tracked the memory seed?" "Yes. Its activation was like lighting a beacon in deep space." "So now they're coming for her?" The alien nodded once. "Not just her. What's still inside her mind?" Ilori's voice was steady. "They want the data I locked away. My mind still holds pieces of the Forbidden's archive. Genetic codes, prototype tech, things that were never meant to exist." Jace looked at her. "Can't we destroy it?" She shook her head. "If I die, it will scatter. Others could still find it. But if I release it all, it could fall into the wrong hands. Then what's the solution?" The alien turned slowly. "We overwrite it," Jace blinked. "What?" "Create new memories strong enough to bury the old ones. Flood her neural paths with fresh data. Not erase her, but Overwrite the dangerous code. Ilari's eyes widened. You want to rewrite my mind? It's the only way to keep you alive and keep the secrets buried. She looked at Jace, unsure. But I'll forget things, parts of who I am. Jace hesitated. What if we don't delete, just hide them? Lock them deeper, behind stronger memories. Memories of kindness, of peace. The alien handed Jace a glowing crystal. This is a thought thread core. It can store a living memory. You and Ilari must link again, this time not to fight her shadow, but to gift her a new past. She stared at the crystal. What memory would we share? Jace smiled softly. The river, the fire, the night you said I was kind. Ilari's eyes shone with tears. Let's try, she said. They sat in a circle, Ilari, Jace, and her brother. The alien placed the thought thread crystal in the center. He activated the neural link. This time, the world didn't vanish, it changed. Jace opened his eyes and stood on the riverbank. The air was warm. Stars glowed above. The same night they had shared long ago. And beside him, Ilari appeared, this time her real self, not a child, not a shadow. She looked around slowly, eyes wide. I remember this place. You said it was the first time you felt safe. He picked up a rock, warm, from the firelight, and handed it to her. She held it like it was treasure. He knelt beside her. You said I was kind, that I didn't treat you like a monster. You weren't afraid, she whispered. You were never a monster, Ilari. She smiled. Then, slowly, the stars above began to shimmer, each turning into words, symbols, equations, the forbidden data. The alien's voice echoed across the river. Now, flood it. Jace took Ilari's hands. We rewrite it together. He closed his eyes. Images poured into her mind, not weapons, not blueprints, but memories. Laughter, the smell of firewood, the warmth of shared silence, the quiet sound of her breath as she fell asleep beside him, and more. Jace showed her the years that passed after she left the cabin, the quiet life he built, the hope that she had survived. He gave her all of it. Her body began to glow, not with code, but with emotion, with life. The stars flickered. The equations vanished. And for a moment, there was only stillness. Then a voice soft and pure spoke from the crystal. Overwrite complete. Jace opened his eyes. They were back in the cabin ruins. Smoke still rose from the broken beams. But the sky was clearing. Ilari sat quietly beside him, eyes closed, a small smile on her lips. Her brother stood watch, but his face had relaxed. She opened her eyes slowly. I still remember, but it doesn't hurt anymore. Jace looked at her. The data? Buried. Behind stronger things. The alien walked forward. Then the threat is gone, for now. But above them, several ships began descending. Not enemies - rescuers. One ship hovered close, lights scanning the cabin site. A peaceful symbol marked its side. Galactic Recovery Command. A voice came through the com link. Is the survivor ready for extraction? Ilari looked at Jace. He nodded slowly. It's your time now. You've earned peace. She stood, weak but proud. Come with me. Jace hesitated. The alien smiled slightly. The cabin won't survive another storm. Jace chuckled. Fine, but I get a window seat. Guardian no more. The transport ship lifted from the forest, clearing with a quiet hum. The burned cabin shrank below, surrounded by broken trees and ash. Smoke rose in gentle spirals, fading into the cold sky. Jace sat by the window, watching everything he had known disappear beneath the clouds. His home, his quiet life, all gone, but beside him, Ilari was alive, and she was smiling. She sat upright now, wearing a new jumpsuit, her hair brushed back and glowing softly under the lights. No more shaking hands. No black shadows in her eyes. Just peace. Across from them sat her brother, the blue alien soldier helmet, now resting on his knees. armor scratched and worn, but his shoulders lighter than before. He was no longer just a guard. He was a brother again. Ilari broke the silence. "Do you think they'll come after me again?" Her brother looked up. "No, the memory seed is spent, the data buried. What you are now is yours to decide." Jace smiled. "I like the new version better, to be honest." Ilari chuckled. "So do I." The ship passed through the atmosphere and entered orbit. Dozens of ships now floated peacefully above Varellan 3, no longer searching, no longer hunting. The emergency beacon had been shut down. The danger was over. Ilari leaned toward Jace. "Why did you stay all those years? Alone in a cabin?" He looked at her. "Because I thought the galaxy had enough noise. I just wanted peace." "You found it," she said softly. He nodded. "But maybe peace isn't just silence. Maybe it's having someone to share the silence with." She looked down, then smiled wider. "I remember now. You were the first person who didn't treat me like a weapon. And you were the first alien who made me feel like I mattered," he said. Her brother cleared his throat. "When we reach the station, there will be people waiting. Medical staff, researchers, politicians. I don't want them poking around my mind," Ilari said firmly. "You won't be alone," he replied. "And neither will you," Jace added, looking at the blue alien directly. "You protected her. You protected me. Maybe it's time someone protected you too." The alien tilted his head. "You're not what I expected from a human." Jace grinned. "That's kind of our thing." The ship docked at a clean white space station. Peacekeepers lined the walkway, but no weapons were drawn. They bowed as Ilari stepped out. She was known, maybe feared, but today she was free. They walked through the halls together, Jace, Ilari, and her brother. People stared, whispered, but no one stopped them. News had already spread of what she had done, of what she had resisted becoming. In a quiet chamber, a woman in silver robes greeted them. "We are ready to help with the recovery," she said. "But only if Ilari agrees." Ilari looked at Jace, then her brother. "I do, but I want control. I want my life back." The woman nodded. "We will honor that." Ilari stepped into the recovery room. The door closed softly behind her. Jace and the alien were left standing alone. For the first time, the blue alien extended his hand. Jace shook it. "You saved her when no one else could," the alien said. "No," Jace replied. "She saved herself. I just reminded her who she was." The alien paused. "And what will you do now?" Jace shrugged. "I don't know. I never planned past today. You could stay here, on this station. Me? In a metal box with rules. And crowds? You wouldn't be alone." Jace smiled. "No, I wouldn't." Days passed. Ilari's strength returned quickly. The station gave her a small home, quiet and clean. Jace visited every day. They drank tea, talked, laughed. Sometimes they just sat in silence. It felt perfect. One night, as the stars twinkled beyond the window, Ilari said softly, "I had a dream last night." "Good or bad?" Jace asked. "Good. I was standing by the river again. But this time, you were already there, waiting." Jace leaned back in the chair. "Maybe your memory's finally catching up." She nodded. "Maybe my future is too." Weeks later, a ceremony was held on the station. Quiet, small, just a few important people. No speeches, no press. They handed Ilari a crystal medal, not for war, not for science, but for peace. For choosing not to destroy. Her brother stood beside her. Jace too. And afterward, they didn't stay in the spotlight. They left the room and walked toward the observation deck. Outside, the stars stretched forever. Jace whispered, "So, what now?" Ilari looked up. "I don't want to be a legend. I just want to live." Jace smiled. "Then let's start with that." The blue alien stepped beside them. I have a ship. It's old, but fast. Jace raised a brow. You're inviting us? You said I needed protection. Maybe I need purpose too. Ilari laughed. Looks like we're a crew now. Jace took one last look at the stars. Not running, not hiding. Together. Free.